Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al, week 16 on DraftKings, and I have an NFL DFS Christmas special, a very special episode of our video content here on the channel. It's not a podcast. I don't know what to call it. It's just, we do stuff. We talk about things. It's nice. No big whoop. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it a ton. We have a 2-game slate to talk about. Cleveland against Green Bay, where Aaron Rodgers goes for the all-time Green Bay Packers touchdown pass leader list. He's already tied Brett Favre. He's going to try and break that record this week. And we have Indianapolis against Arizona as well on this slate. One exciting game and another one that is also an NFL football game is the nicest thing that I can say about it. We're going to go over, I'm not going to do this like we do the first looks where I kind of just build you a lineup and then we go through each position. But it's going to be more along the lines of, I'm going to talk about the 2 games. We're going to talk about places that you can look at. A lot of things could very possibly change by Saturday. We are in a different state of NFL and especially DFS fantasy football right now because of the current state of COVIDity with Omicron and everything else. And everything can change at the snap of a finger. So we're going to do the best that we can on this video. If something changes, hopefully you will have set up your if-then statements by the time the games kick off on Saturday on Christmas Day. So those of you degenerates who are playing on Christmas Day, sneaking away from your families to go build lineups on the computer and the other, I'll be right back. How just making lineups. You come back to your family and spend some time with them while you watch the football games by the fire with your belt opened up because you just ate the Christmas ham and everything else. We stand together on this slate. So thank you guys for being here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, leave me a reply down below with the player that you want to score 2 touchdowns this Christmas. And let's go.
He's a legend.
Why don't we start over on Underdog Fantasy? They don't have all their pick'em stuff up just yet because, again, like I said, everything can change the drop of the hat and they don't want to put bad lines out there that people can exploit. This will be more robust probably on Saturday. You can use code ALSMIZZLE to get a deposit match up to $100. That's ALSMIZZLE. And you get that deposit match. It's kind of like having a free bet. I understand that unders are sharper, obviously, for very clear reasons. But we bet overs most of the time because they're just more fun. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to throw for over 274 yards. I would say that Devontae Adams, I'm not going to bet Devontae Adams on this one. Let's go also over Jonathan Taylor with his 130.5 rush plus receiving yards on this slate. You also have Kyler Murray at 288.5 total. That would include rushing and receiving. I'm just going to make it a 2-man. 50 to win 150 confirm. Go check out the tools that they have over at Underdog Fantasy. It's not tools, it's games. Best ball, they have a playoff best ball called the Gauntlet. $1 million in that prize pool, $25 to draft. Very, very well could overlay as well. That should be your home for best ball and pick'em. So go check out everything that they have and use promo code ALSMIZZLE when you make that first deposit. Our Smiz Gang Listener League is there this week. Smizzle.tv/league. Go check it out. Absolutely no rake. $10, 5 max. Make sure that you fill it. Let's take a look at this Christmas Day slate. The Merry Millionaire. Ho, ho, ho. By the way, that thumbnail, amazing, right? Best thumbnail of all time. If you haven't yet, put a like on the video if you liked the thumbnail. I know you liked the thumbnail because it made me laugh. The Rudolph ears on Jonathan Taylor, fantastic. So we'll start at quarterback. Aaron Rodgers going for this record. They will stop this game once he throws 1 touchdown, just like they did when Drew Brees broke records and everybody else when they break records. Aaron Rodgers at home in December in Green Bay, and with a very kind of truncated list of players that he can throw to. Let's do this by team. I'm going to do this differently. I'm shifting on the fly. Aaron Jones, questionable, limited at Wednesday's walkthrough. Did see increased usage in week 15 versus his week 14 game, sits at 6,800. AJ Dillon took the backseat to him after taking the lead role in week 14. This is a mess for us. Okay, it's already a mess with all the health and safety protocols from a projection standpoint, from a prediction standpoint, from a content creator standpoint. I'm trying to do the best that I can to give you guys the most actionable information. But we just have to monitor that injury situation as it goes. I think that playing the passing game for Green Bay is probably the more optimal route to go, with Devontae Adams being an absolute monster. Probably won't see double and triple teams every week like he saw last week against Baltimore. And Cleveland does get pressure on the passer, but Aaron Rodgers, clearly one of the best to do it, and is going to be without Marquez Valdez-Scantling, as MVS has been placed in COVID protocols, meaning that Alan Lazard should play 90 to 95% plus of snaps. We also have, and he was missed on 2 touchdowns last week. This could have been an absolute monster game in week 15, and it was just a 4.8 meh game. Filling in for the MVS role is an if-then statement in and of itself. We have Equanimous St. Brown, who got concussed in week 14 and is now trying to make his way back. We don't know if he is going to be cleared. So he was limited at Wednesday's walkthrough. Monitor the situation. If he's in, I expect him to be the guy on the field 75+% of the time. If he is out, that leaves Amari Rodgers as the last man standing with all these bagels on his game log. If you're going to be on the field and running a ton of routes for Aaron Rodgers in a game where they theoretically should, score 3 to 4 touchdowns, you are in play for fantasy. It's just a route to playing time, because right now they are in a definite next man up situation with MVS out and Cobb out and possibly ESB out. If he's out, that opens up Amari Rodgers. Wait and see. Check it out. Maybe somebody like Winfrey as well, Juwan Winfrey, who we saw get 6 targets in week 8. It's all up in the air as far as that. They clearly have some issues with the rookie. Maybe Winfrey fills that role. And then at tight end, DeGuara and Lewis kind of splitting work since the Funyon went out. He's getting some work, and then they're getting Mercedes some work around the goal line, but neither of them are really digesting a ton of usage. They're more of a pure punt play at the position in the hopes that one of them wanders into the painted area. Taking a look at the other side of the ball, Baker Mayfield should be, but he's a candidate to play. This is how tough the job is right now. If he plays, I think that he is the best cheap quarterback on the slate at 5,300. At running back, they do not expect Kareem Hunt to be available for this game, thrusting Nick Chubb into a great spot in terms of volume. Hopefully he would see more targets in this spot where they have not given to him this year like they did last year. If he gets 4 targets a game, he is potentially a monster, but they have lifted him a lot in those situations for Dearness Johnson, and I'm hoping that they don't do that this week against Green Bay to open up Nick Chubb at 7,200. At wide receiver, Landry should be back, and there is nobody to challenge him for targets, really. So double-digit targets at 5,100 seems like a smash, especially on a 2-game slate, and Hooper and Njoku are just kind of there. Not being fancy, not being all that targetable guys that I really wouldn't want to spend a lot on. But they'll be involved because it's a 2-game slate, and I'm going to have some of them across 150 lineups. But they're not in the optimal, at least not for me. Carson Wentz, big shift in the way Indy has run their team. They're trying to get like less than 30 pass attempts, but this game does have one of the higher total, or of the 2 games, has one of the higher totals on this slate. If I can find out where I put the Vegas dashboard. Team total of 25 for Arizona, 24 for the Colts, and a 1-point spread in this one. So expected to be competitive. I'm going to think that they want to run their entire offense as they have for the past 2 months through Jonathan Taylor. Giving this kid 30 touches a game works. It's pretty good. Leads the league in terms of inside the 5 touches. Monster in the passing game, although he is not always utilized in the passing game, as we see by the 0 targets over the last 2 weeks in games that they just kind of ground and pounded with him, with 30 touches on the ground. And his big splash ability, a 67-yard run. The rumor was that on this play, he kept looking at the Indy sideline to see if they wanted him, if like looking at his coaches, should I go down? You want me to fall? Because this game, they were just like, go. So he didn't fall down. Kudos to those of us who rostered him, and you got to benefit from that touchdown, but he was looking to make the smart play. So at least know that Jonathan Taylor has a very good football IQ head on his shoulders. The wide receivers, due to the amount that they don't want to pass the ball, because Carson Wentz is not that great, there's a lot of variance between the floor of volume for somebody like Michael Pittman, who got 5, 8, 10. If they get into a shootout and Wentz throws it 35 to 40 times, Pittman should see 7+ targets. if they are able to run the ball with great efficiency like they have been recently for the past like month or two with Jonathan Taylor, then Pittman will not see a ton of targets. Jack Doyle is a touchdown or bust sort of tight end. The other wide receivers, T.Y. Hilton, Zach Pascal, and Doolin, really just praying for a touchdown if you play those guys. It really all centers around Jonathan Taylor. If you were trying to build a lineup that fades Jonathan Taylor on this slate, obviously you're going to have to play some of the passing game there, because if Jonathan Taylor doesn't score touchdowns, then you're trying to leverage off of that, which touchdowns in the passing game. I get it. It's dangerous. The best option or best options on Arizona would be Christian Kirk at 5,400. In the absence of DeAndre Hopkins, is going to get peppered with targets. AJ Green gets a little bit more downfield. Rondale Moore is a game time decision, and they don't use him at all. Zach Ertz is a tough pay up on this slate. If you're going to go after, let's say, the two or three of the best plays on the slate, Zach Ertz is certainly in play as one of the better plays, but you're going to have to find value elsewhere. There is some possibility for value, as James Conner looks like a game time decision. If he is out at 6,000, that opens up Chase Edmonds at 4,700 in a really high volume role. So if we were to plug him in, building a quick lineup, then we'll head over to Fantasy Labs. I'm definitely going to throw Jonathan Taylor in there. I want to have Aaron Rodgers in this lineup. We're going to go over to wide receiver. There's no way I'm not rostering Devontae Adams. Landry, I think at 5,100 is kind of a layup. Also going to use Lazard, as I said, with MVS out. That opens up a lot there. We're going to put Christian Kirk in the flex, as he is the later playing player, leaving us 3,100. Not that tough. You can find one of the punt tight ends. If you wanted to play the Packers defense against Cleveland, go for it. And that leaves us 3,300 for a tight end. Njoku, DeGuara, Lewis, fine. Pray for touchdown upside and go thusly. Heading over to fantasylabs.com. And my normal position builds on the main slate, I'm cutting them all down. You can see they're not checked out because it's a 2-game slate. We're probably going to have to allow a lot more massive per maximum percentage and a lot more maximum exposure per position. I'm not going to keep it at 500. It's usually like 130 for a main slate. I don't know where I'm going to end up on this. Maybe like 225, something like that, to get a little bit contrarian in lineups. But I don't want to get too contrarian, because with a 2-game slate, you just have to have the points. I will allow the flex to be a tight end on a slate like this. Head over to the lineup builder and generate your 150 lineups for the 2-game slate. They definitely have the mini max games on both FanDuel and DraftKings, where you can get in for $7.50, $15, $75 if you wanted to try being a max entry player on a bigger slate. And first place ain't too shabby in those. You're looking at like anywhere from $1,500 to $15,000, depending on the buy-in level, for that very low buy-in for a max entry player. It's not always about max entering the Millionaire Maker at $3,000. So I wish you all the best of luck. Don't just hit submit on the generate lineups button and think that you're going to print money. A lot more massaging goes into it to get the right allocations and correlations that you're looking for. So I wish you a very Merry Christmas. Spend some time with your families. Don't ignore them to play daily fantasy NBA and NFL all that much. Enjoy yourselves. Hope Santa brought you everything that you want. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.